Hey guys, welcome to the channel. We have some exciting things to talk about in this video, and the topic we'll be focusing on today is the top 10 corrupt officers caught and jailed. But of course, before we dive into this video, I've got a question for you. Have you subscribed to this channel yet? If you aren't, you are missing out on quite a lot here. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will not miss any of our upcoming videos. Anyways, like I said in the beginning, let's dive right into it. Police officers are meant to protect people and ensure that everyone and every place is safe. While most law enforcement officers stay true to their oath and never shy away from risking their lives to fight crime, there are some who choose the path of corruption. Unfortunately, corruption finds a way to seep into every profession in the world, and even highly regarded institutions such as the government or police are not immune to it. In recent years, numerous police officers have been exposed for being unbelievably corrupt. First up at number 10, Ray Oliver. Our first case of police corruption revolves around Ray Oliver. Ray Oliver was a police officer in Texas within the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. On May 5, 2017, Oliver was one of the officers who responded to a 911 call reporting several underage children drinking and walking around at a party of almost 100 people. When they arrived at the location, the officers allegedly heard a weapon being fired, creating a panic among the crowd. Officer Roy would fire 3 rounds into a vehicle. Jordan Edwards, a 15-year-old African-American boy, was riding in the front passenger seat, ultimately lost his life in the shooting. This incident led to a series of investigations and legal proceedings, ultimately resulting in Ray Oliver's conviction and a 15-year prison sentence. At number 9, we have Kenneth Blue. A Michigan police officer took the life of Jennifer Webb, a pregnant woman with whom he was having an affair. To conceal their relationship, Blue lured Jennifer to a secluded area to shoot her. He was arrested and sentenced to life in prison, ensuring that he would never again roam the streets as a corrupt officer. At number 8, Sergeant Wayne Jenkins, described as perhaps the most corrupt police officer in the history of Baltimore. Jenkins was the head of his task unit that was found responsible for astonishing amounts of abuse in the troubled U.S. city. The job of the unit was to take illegal weapons off the streets. Instead, members of this task force resold the weapon they stole, robbed dealers, and planted false evidence. In January of 2018, the 37-year-old former ringleader Jenkins pleaded guilty to charges of robbery, racketeering, and civil rights violations that involved the planting of illegal substances on 2 men back in 2010. He was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison by U.S. District Judge Catherine C. Blake. At number 7, we have Zachary Wester, a Florida cop who abused his power by planting illegal substances on motorists during traffic stops. He also stole money from those he arrested. Caught on body cam planting evidence, Wester was convicted in 2021 on 19 charges and sentenced to 12 years in prison, providing justice for his victims. At number 6, we have Stephanie Regina. In a rare instance of female police corruption, a New Jersey police officer was pulled over for speeding and driving drunk in 2017. Her belligerent behavior and abuse of power led to her arrest and subsequent dismissal from the police force. Next up, at number 5, we have Eric DeVler. A former Kansas City police officer was convicted in November 2021 for fatally shooting Cameron Lamb. This incident unfolded when detectives arrived at Lamb's property without a warrant or probable cause. DeVler, along with his partner, confronted Lamb, leading to a rapid and fatal shooting. DeVler was sentenced to 3 years for taking Lamb's life and 6 years for armed criminal actions, with concurrent sentences despite prosecutors seeking a longer term. The judge ruled that DeVler violated Lamb's constitutional rights. This case highlights concerns about police conduct and the need for accountability, as Lamb's family hoped for justice and change. At number 4, we have Daniel Holzclaw. An Oklahoma police officer used his position of power to target and assault vulnerable women, often with criminal records. He intimidated and manipulated these women, demanding intimate favors in exchange for not arresting them. In 2015, Holzclaw was found guilty on 18 counts, leading to a staggering 263-year prison sentence, cementing his status as one of the most corrupt cops in history. At number 3, we have Michael Dotro, a former Edison police officer, was sentenced for a 2013 arson attempt on the home of Edison police captain Mark Anderko. DeVler used gasoline-filled jugs in an attempt to take Andurko's life, showing no regard for the family inside the house. Fortunately, no one was injured. He pleaded guilty to arson, attempted murder, and more. DeVler received a 20-year sentence for attempted murder and 10 years for aggravated arson, to be served concurrently. He also faced charges for official misconduct, conspiracy, and retaliation. DeVler's troubles began after being ordered to undergo a psychological evaluation following multiple excessive force complaints. He resigned from the Edison police force during his trial. In addition to the arson attempt, authorities filed 17 more charges against him, including buying controlled substances on duty and vandalism. At number 2, we have Joseph Menzoni. A former Chicago police officer, was infamously dubbed the most corrupt cop by U.S. Attorney 2 decades ago. He played a nefarious role in a drug ring, collaborating with gang members and corrupt colleagues. In 2001, he was convicted for selling illegal substances, exposing undercover officers to gangs, and various other offenses. Despite receiving 59 valor and arrest citations during his 22-year police career, he was secretly aiding illegal organizations, distributing drugs, and supplying gang members with ammunition. Menzoni received a life sentence without parole for racketeering and conspiracy, leading to the disbandment of the department's gang crimes unit. He and 4 co-defendants were convicted. In 2020, he sought a sentence reduction under the First Step Act signed by President Trump in 2018, but was denied relief in 2021. The judge emphasized his double life and the extensive harm he caused to countless individuals. Finally, at number 1, we have Derek Stafford. This is a long case, so sit back and relax. Derek Stafford is a former deputy Marksville marshal who was involved in a harrowing crime on the night of November 3, 2015. Officers Derek Stafford and Norris Greenhouse attempted to stop a vehicle being driven by Christopher Few. Few's son, Jeremy Martis, was a passenger in the front seat. Few and his girlfriend, Megan Dixon, had gotten into an argument at a bar and were taking separate vehicles home. Dixon reported seeing Few drive past her with a police car with 2 officers following him. Stafford and Greenhouse activated the patrol car lights, but Few still failed to pull over. This led to a 2-mile car chase that ended in a dead-end street near the Marksville State Historic Site entrance. The 2 police officers fired 18 rounds of ammunition into Few's vehicle at around 9:30 p.m., despite the fact that Few had both his hands in the air. As a result, Few was injured, but his son Jeremy lost his life. The entire ordeal was recorded on police body camera footage. The other 2 police officers called for backup and were also involved in the unfortunate event. Jeremy was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2 and was just a first grader at the time of his death. Colonel Mike Edmondson of the Louisiana State Police began an investigation into the incident. In conclusion, the cases of the top 10 corrupt officers highlighted in this video shed light on the disturbing reality of abuse of power within law enforcement. These individuals, entrusted with the duty to protect and serve, instead betrayed the public's trust, engaging in egregious acts that resulted in loss of life, corruption, and injustice. The accounts range from fatal shootings like Eric DeVler's tragic encounter with Cameron Lamb, to the insidious exploitation of vulnerable individuals by officers like Daniel Holzclaw. Each case serves as a stark reminder that corruption knows no boundaries and can infiltrate even the most revered of institutions. The legal consequences meted out, such as Roy Oliver's 15-year prison sentence for the shooting of Jordan Edwards, provide some semblance of justice. However, the depth of damage caused by these corrupt officers extends beyond legal repercussions. Lives have been irreversibly altered, communities shattered, and trust in law enforcement eroded. As we reflect on these cases, it's imperative to advocate for transparency, accountability, and ongoing efforts to root out corruption within law enforcement agencies. Alright, so unfortunately this video has come to an end. That's it on the top 10 corrupt police officers caught and jailed. Since you guys have reached here, I just want to remind you to subscribe so you will not miss any of our future videos. Trust me, you will not regret it. Also, like the video as it helps us beat the YouTube algorithm and lets this topic be delivered to more people. And lastly, share this video so we can inform others. With that, thank you so much for watching, goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video.